Hello, body sa SSE9 natin. As you all know naman, yung landscape naman, it's a part of the Earth's surface, viewed at one time, di ba, from one place, yung alam natin mga different landforms, ano pa ba? Yung mga different features, yung topographical areas, yung mga spatial regions, yung mga existing flora and fauna, kasama rin yung sa landscapes, even yung cultural landscapes, kasi of course, people do have great influence or impact when it comes to changing in or changes in the landscape. Recall lang natin yung natural landscape. Of course, ayon din sa UNESCO ha, made up of collection of landforms, natural vegetation, pasok yun dyan. Even yung desert ha, and different biomes. Yung pasok yun dun. Whereas yung cultural landscape na nabanggit na nga rin natin, we people ha, try to modify the landscape. Those existing landscape, no, yung mga natural landscape na natin. Yun nga lang, may ratifications din naman or agreement coming from UNESCO, UN noong 1990s. Share ko lang yun kasi they defined landscape from archaeological point of view. No, first of all, yung intentionality of man to change that kind of landscape. Second is yung landscape for the purpose of economic and cultural significance of an area. They try to develop it. Yun yung second type or organic landscape na tinatawag nila. And then yung last type of landscape or cultural landscape ay tinatawag nilang associative landscape. They tend to associate or connect the physical evidence, yung landscape, sa historical human use or histories. Okay? Yan, bali ang ating major objectives naman talaga natin dito sa presentation na ito ay to connect yung subject ng cultural landscape, yung SSE9 sa environmental ethics at sa philosophy. Kasi ang bottom line naman talaga ng SSE9, ang pinakang last competencies na included dito ay yung sustainability and preservation ng environment and landscapes. So as you read the presentation, no, biophilia or biophilia hypothesis. Yan, an innate and genetically determined love for the natural world felt universally by humankind. So as you feel it, suggesting human processes as innate tendencies for us to seek connections with the nature itself, di ba? Kaya nga pag umuulan, di ba, ano bang yung amoy noon o kaya yung mga yung hangin, simoy ng hangin, ano ba? Even yung tunog, mula sa karagatan, yung mga agos, at yung mga series of waves. Yan, pasok yan sa biophilia. Connecting our soul to the environment. Emotionally, another thing pa sa biophilia hypothesis ay yung connection ng biophilia and conservation. Tandaan nyo, sa biophilia hypothesis, yung impact ng technology, yung improvement ng technology, yung technological advancement, for more time sa pag-construct ng buildings, vehicles, kung ano pa mga infrastructures diyan, they try to disconnect us from nature. Ay yung mismong naiisip kagad natin, di ba? Napakaraming infrastructure, modern technology na tayo, naapektuhan yung environment. When it comes sa biophilia, other than emotionally connected tayo, ang concern nito ay yung lack or connection, through the use of technology. So, mahalaga rin the action and technology through wise use. So, another thing ito, pagdating sa philosophy, yung involvement ng biophilia hypothesis sa technology. Other than just an emotional recurrence pagdating sa naramdaman natin, kalikasan, good vibes, di ba? Okay, and then groovy or selfie pagdating dun sa landscape, no? Tandaan, ang biophilia hypothesis ay related na sa wise use of technology when it comes to environment. Tandaan yun ha, biophilia hypothesis or simply as biophilia. Okay, another philosophical part pa pagdating sa environment ay tinatawag natin global mobility. As you all know naman, dumadami ang bilang ng tao sa mundo. Kaya sabay na rin yung global mobility, no? Yung mga migration, not that the people itself lahat. Even yung mga resources on how we mobilize resources. And the problem here ay kung paano magiging sustainable yung resources natin, no? From time to time. Yan problema sa atin eh. We tend to modify or change the landscape when it comes to our own beneficial way or advantage. But come to think about the global mobility, there are some portion of our landscape or territory or regions na concentrated doon ng mga tao. O doon lang nagkakaroon ng mobility or movement. Sa particular region. So, ano naman connection dito sa environment? Yun nga lang, ragsa na kaagad o kaya maaring mapudpud na yung certain region na yun or maaring polluted na or tainted na, contaminated na yung isang region na yun, di ba? So, yun yung global mobility. Another thing, yung mga environmentalists, they think this kind of way, yung tinatawag na systematic thinking or rational way of thinking or coming to a conclusion. Paano ba sila nagka-come up dito? No? Systematic thinking, traditional thinking, of course, yung cause and effect. We'll try to regurgitate information na gusto mag-come up tayo sa outcome. No? So, systematic thinking, other than cause and effect, other than taking, perceiving the advantages and disadvantages, yung connection or integral part, vice versa, yung holistic view ng system that tries also to explain also the behavior, breaking also the system into simpler parts, and identification of these pieces and examine how they work together. So, analyzing situations, okay, hindi na pala cause and effects. How about yung aftermath nito? Parang meta-aftermath. After ng effect, what's succeeding effects pa? And then yung maaring connections din ito sa causation or yung causes. It involves problem solving. So, in mga environmentalists or even mga philosophers or tayo dapat ay highly involved pagdating sa systematic thinking or systems thinking in which the modern dilemma doesn't only involve yung straightforward thinking. Rather, pwede rin may consolidation tayo, restructuring, remodeling, to come up with good idea. And, of course, ay plausible. Systems thinking. So, hindi siya not actually a curriculum, lesson plan, or intervention plan. Kaya nga binanggit sa philosophy na rin, it's also a concept. Diba? Hindi siya basta specific teaching program. More on learning strategy for any kind of setting. Applicable naman kahit saan, no? Sana i-develop natin ito, i-hone natin ito. May consolidation, may collaboration, may systematic approach on how to deal with problems and applications. Okay? Kasama rin yan sa way of thinking nila. Kasi sa cultural landscape naman natin, hindi naman basta tayo magka-come up or conclusive kaagad tayo, di ba? Pag nakita kaagad natin na minomodify yung landscape, o kaya negative kaagad ang connotation kaagad sa atin, na against kaagad tayo. Let's also try to look the reasons or causes or even yung mga instances on why do landscapes or environment do change or why people do change or modify our environment. Another systematic pa rin yung feedback loops na rin natin. Ito yung mga other terms for systematic thinking. Yun nga lang, sa SSE 9 natin, why do people, tayo naman as a group, no? As a society, try to modify our environment? Of course, isip ka agad natin from the use, for preservation, self-preservation ng bawat isa sa atin, at para masustain yung ating life, di ba? Yun yung kagad isipin kagad natin. If we'll try to review, look back yung ating external handouts, yung kano na akong binigay na handout sa inyo, yung kay Karl Marx, yung historical materialism. Yung materialism kasi, of course, material factors na meron sa society. What could be ideal for everybody? Ay, yung historical naman, from time to time, merong social evolution. When you combine these terms, pagdating sa konsepto ni Karl Marx, the laws of history cannot simply be equated or connected sa laws of nature. Kaya nangyari diyan, may continuous exploitation. Whether yung mga people na nagmo-modify, especially the government, yung policies nila, although they have good intentions, how about the long impact in our environment in due time, di ba? And that impact, when the time comes, it will change the landscape, of course, the landscape, and as well, the cultural landscape or the cultural behavior of people. O, di ba? Pag nabago yung isang lugar. One more thing pa dyan, i-focus sa human societies and their development through history. Diba? When we try to improve transportation, yung mga road mappings natin, yung mga building of canals natin, yung mga sewage natin, of course, it will come up into a kind of serious problem like pollution, of course, mismanagement. Yan, manganganak na siya ng iba't ibang mga organizations and problems that they need to tackle, no? Or in short, when we try to modify in relation to environment, when we try to modify or change the environment in relation with the improvement of technology, manganganak siya ng iba't ibang problema through time. Yun ang sasabihin ng historical materialism. Subukan tayong lumayo, no? Dito tayo sa Pilipinas. Sa Quezon Province natin. Alam niyo siguro yung issue ng sa Kaliwa Dam. If we'll try to look, at a simple glance, yung Kaliwa Dam, ano bang purpose ng dam? For sure, hindi naman basta magpo-procure ang ating government diyan, no? Mag-head ng kung ano po ang mga project. Although part ng kanilang project mismo, of course, ang kanilang mismong driving mechanism dito is to provide sustainable water security. Dahil sa kalakhan ng Metro Manila, no? Sa Rizal at sa Quezon. Yung nga lang, siguro conclusive kaagad tayo, kaagad tayo sa protection natin yung environment, ganyan, yung impact niya, yung preservation, yung diversity, yung effect niya. Although ako personally, against ako dito sa Kaliwa Dam Project kasi in the long run naman talaga yung long-term impact niya ay malaki, no? Submerge ka agad at the same time yung papanorin yung mga documentaries regarding dito sa Kaliwa Dam, no? Doon inuumpisa na talaga siya. The 85% pa ng China ay coming mula sa kanila yung budget, kahit yung mga iba't ibang korporasyon sa atin, no? Tapos na pala ang bidding nitong Kaliwa Dam. So, dara-diretso na siya. Ang problema dito, walang consolidation dun sa dun sa mga grupo ng katutubo, no? Even dun sa mga municipality na maapektuhan. Although meron mga forums, pero hindi sila nag-come up sa, sa consensus kung talagang itutuloy nila ito. E di dire-diretso sila, kasi na-aprobahan ng gobyerno, tapos ang bidding ito, Hindi na isama lang natin to, Kasi ang dam naman talaga, mahalaga naman talaga ang dam to sustain uh, the, the supply of water, At ang point lang din naman nila, nung MWSS, akala ko Maynila din. Yung MWSS, yung duration nito ay hanggang 5 years yung construction para nito. And, yun nga lang, hindi naman pahig ang chieftain na mga dumagat, yung tribo nila, yung mga nakatira dito. At the same time pa nga dito, yung water treatment plants ito, kasi nga mataas ang elevation nito, hindi apektado rin yung mga estruktura, yung mga lugar, mga pamilya, mga kinabuhayan nila. Yung direct impact nito talaga, yung Tanay, yung General Nakar, yung Infanta sa atin, sa Quezon Province. Isipin kagad natin talagang yung alteration natin sa environment for the sake of meeting the demand, for meeting our demands sa water, di ba? Kasi nga naman talaga ay shortage sa water yung problema. Hindi nga kakayanin nga talaga ng Angat Dam yan, But if we'll try also to weigh yung long-term impact niya ay hindi talaga hindi siya maaaring maging sustainable, So pagdating sa historical materialism, in due time, ang epekto niyan, yung aftermath niyan, maaring ma-relocate yung mga katutubo na yan, submerge na yung lugar nila, but also yung mismong yung environmental imprint nung lugar na yon, paano na kaya yon? Hindi na bago na natin, which is irreversible na yon pag nagawa na natin, Nakakaawa, nakakalungkot lang din kung isipin natin at kung lalaliman pa siguro natin yung pagkaunawa pagdating sa project na ito, So yun lang, kahit masabihin na makapag-provide ng ilang milyong litro ng tubig yan at pag-asa, na potable water, pero on the conservative estimation natin, several decades, na ang mangyayari sa ating kalikasan, Yun lang, nabanggit lang natin yan, para at least ito yung best example na natin at highly relevant issue natin to tackle para sa SSE 9. One more thing ay yung bioregionalism, yung konsepto ng bioregionalism. Yung konsepto ng bioregionalism, yan, political, cultural, ecological, movement to actually, we try to stress the concept of beyond the natural boundaries. So, hindi siya basta ecosystem lang pag sinabing bioregions. So, when it comes sa overview nito, we'll try to ask of course yung highlight ng environment when it comes to providing or encouraging consumption of local foods, whether it's possible for us. Yan, pasukin sa bioenvironmentalism. We tend also to advocate yung ating environment kasi nga ito nagbibigay sa atin ng harmony sa ating tinitirahan, protecting also the flora and fauna over time. So pasok yan sa bioregionalism. Yung mga advocacy ng mga environmentalists at mga thinkers that disagree yung rehabilitation or changing in the landscape, pasok rin yung po sa bioregionalism. Kasi ang pakay talaga ng bioregionalism ay uniqueness in the ecology of that kind of certain region. Of course, preservation. Yun nga lang, ang bioregionalism ay, first of all, the initiative must come from the higher sector. Yun ang mismong konsepto ng bioregionalism. Of course, to sum this up, no, yung conclusion natin pagdating sa philosophy, although we're not going to tackle different ethics, environmental ethics, ito lang kasi yung mga sabihin na nating driving factors on why we continuously changing our environment, no? Of course, the culture, indirectly connected with the ethics or Victorian ethics natin. Also, indirectly related on how we perceive our natural environment, and also directly related to sciences on how we give facts, based our facts, based sa sciences. And of course, yung relationship ng sciences sa culture. Recall ko lang yung Leopold's land ethics. So lahat ng yan, itong gitnang ito, we struggle for existence, yung mga basic provisions natin, let's say, yung land, yung water, yung food, saan ba tayo kukuha? Because of scarcity as well, we try to extract yung natural environment. At tulad, dyan naman pinagkukuha natin. So, to conclude kay Aldo Leopold, yung sa land ethics na rin, a thing is right when it tends to preserve the integrity, stability, and beauty of the biotic community. It is wrong when it tends otherwise. So, it's up to us on how to maintain worker sustainability, preservation, and conservation. Diba? Not just knowing the different landscape, the different places all over the world, not just appreciating, no? We must initiate environmental movements. Okay? Thank you. That's all.